guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
how Norway's prisons are different from America's.
Staying in a maximum security prison is not a normal life, but that's also an ambition, to reduce the feeling of being in a prison as much as possible.
And in here you have my cell, so I have DVD and movies from there.
he's
The
an
basic
inmate.
question that we ask ourselves in Norway.
How
What
come
can a
it's
neighbor
a
do?
uniform?
Maybe that's the uniform.
Oh,
We really want.
they look like a polo
Because they could move
shirt.
into my neighborhood and they could move into your neighborhood. So I think this is an important question to ask ourselves, really. That should have an influence on how we work inside prisons.
The US has the largest incarceration population. Yeah, good. Damn. 10 times less basically than America. Wow.
It's not for the prison to judge
Almost 11.
or to punish. We have to interact and be human. I think it's as simple as that.
Yeah, he looks like a regular person. He's wearing like a polo shirt.
Well, maybe because they're doing this interview, they don't have to wear uniforms.
So is this so? This is propaganda.
I don't know.
Like
if
you
it's
saying that
propaganda. I mean,
they're wearing better outfits?
well, it's not about the outfits, it's about living conditions. Outfits, who cares?
Because there's some jails here, they call like the celebrities, they go to like it's the light jails. Like
Yeah,
it's
minimum
not
security.
it's like it's like a spa.
Yeah,
But not spa.
Yeah, that's for like financial crimes and whatnot. Yeah.
Whoa.
The most important thing is how we treat people. This is the 4 key elements that I would like you to remember. The principle of normality, the focus that we have in Norway on humanity inside prisons, what we call dynamic security, and the emphasis that we put on reintegration into society.
So this was before COVID, 2019 fall, right before shit broke down.
I would say the main goal of the trip is for inspiration to go bold back in the United States.
Let's talk a little bit more about Halden then. How do we work and what are the unique things about us?
Oh wow. It looks like a dorm room.
It does.
And in here you have my cell, so I have DVD and movies from there. Here we have a real toilet with a shower and everything.
Okay, no.
You know, you can see everybody have their key, so they can open or close to their doors whenever they want.
Even though it's nice here, it's still not a summer camp. But I would like you to, look beyond the facilities.
I think that's the uniform because it has like the jail emblems and everything on it.
Not the most important thing.
So this is the cell. Every cell is similar. And here we have
Yeah, like you see that on the back. That's like the jail. I think that's the jail uniform.
the kitchen, where I used to prepare the food. You can see here, it's inside here.
That's a really important principle in Norway, which talks about that taking someone's liberty away and taking them away from their family, away from their community, that in of itself is the punishment. So life inside prisons should look as normal to life in the community as possible.
And in here, you have this washing room. You can wash the clothes and dry it.
Staying in a maximum security prison is not a normal life.
And I noticed you're just wearing normal clothes.
Yeah. That's allowed.
Oh, so I guess normal clothes, not even outfits, not jail uniforms.
You can wear whatever you want.
But that's also an ambition, to reduce the feeling of being in a prison as much as possible. That's the normality principle.
How you can normalize the correctional setting.
I wonder what did he
for
do?
individuals.
I don't know. But it said this is maximum security prison.
This is
so-
maximum?
So he must have done something.
To transition out. Bigger challenge in our system, but definitely something to think about. The commissary, the stores, where an individual actually gets to go to a real store and pick out commissary items. I think that's a good adds to the normalization.
We think this is the most important part. Dynamic security sounds like a very fancy thing, but it's really just having a normal interpersonal relations between the officers, or all staff really, and the inmates. Every inmate has a primary contact officer, and every officer had to have 2 or 3 inmates that he is the contact officer for. That was the ambition, from guard to also be a social worker.
Interesting.
I don't think they require much of education. Oh.
Yeah, well, that's
The
your
main
answer.
subjects at the academy: ethics, psychology, communication.
But I think the difference is here, because a correctional facility worker, you can just, kind of be like one of your jobs. Like, you don't have to be like, oh, I'm gonna be a correctional facility worker for the rest of my life. In Norway, if you have to do 2-year training, seems like a commitment for like, maybe not the rest of the life, but it's a commitment. It's a commitment to, okay, that's what I'm gonna do with life.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like, you have to be sure. Like, I feel like here a lot of people, work in jails because they just need a job, and they're like, they don't care what they do. It's just one of the jobs. Whereas there, yeah, like that's 2 years college. That's a commitment. Because what, you're gonna go 2 years to college and then, oh, let me change my mind, let me do something else. Nah, you already committed 2 years of your life to this.
Technique, criminology, law, human rights. Of course, they do learn self-defense. They do learn extraction techniques. They do learn to work as a team. But that's not, that's not the major component. It's about how do you treat people respectfully.
My family always think that I just play games, because that's why I like very much to play games. So I often play cards and stuff with inmates.
I know in some states it's forbidden and will have consequences for you if you interact with inmates as a staff member. Quite the opposite here. We expect and demand an interaction between staff and inmates.
It's kind of friendship with someone, and to see the progress and see the changes, that's the best way to job.
It's a little hard to believe this is a maximum security prison.
Yeah.
If it was a minimum security prison, it's believable. I think minimum security, it's just crimes are kind of like non-violent crimes, maybe, let's put it that way. Here, like, housing violent criminals.
So I wonder who's the longest stay,
No, but like, if you have like cold-blooded killers housing them and you go and playing cards with them, I don't know. I don't know. It's just like, there's one thing, having them have like a TV and video games and everything. That's cool. There's still people. But like, just security officer like this lady right here, the cold-blooded killer, just leave them playing cards. I don't know.
The contact officer is, for example, sitting down with you and making you a future plan. So what for steps by steps to become a free man from day one. Yeah.
So the officers need to know everything about the system and give advice to the inmates.
But it's
about,
really important that the people who come out from these prisons are able to go reintegrate into society.
I think that's what prisons here miss. I think prisons here don't care about reintegration. I think prisons here just like, oh, I want you to stay in prison for the rest of your life.
If anything, to break probation for you to come back.
Yeah, I think reintegration is key, especially after a long sentence. Because, now with technology, like, imagine if somebody went to prison in 95 and they're coming out now. Fucking self-driving cars, what the fuck?
That's scary.
Yeah, like, you need reintegration is key.
Future, what steps should he take?
Because for some reason it seems like the mind is not moving with time as they spend time with jail. Like, they go in and they probably leave the same age they went in.
Yeah, like, you remember that Damiano music video we did where he went? That's exactly what you're describing. It's like you kind of get stuck in time because I guess time is all about relative concept. So you see other people around you aging, you see like everything changing, kids getting older, like your kids getting older, or like your nephews, nieces getting older, like stuff like that. But when you're in prison, you don't really see none of that. All you see is yourself, but when you see yourself every day, you don't remember what you looked like 5 years ago, so you kind of look the same. So yeah.
Photos of my daughter, big love of my life. I've been here for 1.5 years, but I was transferred from a prison in Brazil. You can compare that to come from hell to heaven. So it's a big difference.
Wow, that's a big difference.
First of all,
wonder why
in
they
Brazil.
transferred him. Is he like he's from Norway? He got in trouble in Brazil, and they held him there, and then they said, okay.
That's what I'm guessing. He's a Norwegian citizen that got caught, did something in Brazil and got extradited back home. That's what I'm guessing, yeah.
Brazil, the guards are more you feel bad and weakness, the more they feel good. Here you have the guards, you know, they was very kind to me when I came. They are still very kind. We can speak, you know, they treat me as a human being. In Brazil, you.
But this guy does seem like he has special privileges because, you know, he has access to the kitchen, he cooks, he said, and like, I think he has, I don't think everybody gets those access. I think these are special privileges.
After
They
1
treat
year?
like
Yeah, I think so. I mean, how long does it take to get special privileges? I don't
an
know.
animal.
I've been
think a
working
year
here
is
since
sufficient, huh?
the opening in 2010, and I've been working in other prisons before that also. It's not for the prison to judge or to punish, because the police catch the guy, goes to the court, and it gets a sentence perhaps, and then it comes to prison with that. We have to interact and be human. I think it's as simple as that. It really is, because
I mean, he's right in a sense that it's not for prison to punish. Being in the prison is punishment. So prison like doesn't need to punish you even further. Like, you know, don't need to make your life more miserable, because being in prison is miserable. Like you kind of put away from your family, from you isolated from people. You know, it's punishment. You know, so.
And also, I think the living standard in Norway is significantly different
Oh, yes,
because here
absolutely.
there can be people who are homeless who are begging to go to jail just to have a bed to lay on.
Yeah, like this prison that we're seeing here is way better than a lot of people live here. You know, they're working minimum wage, so
we can create walls between us, but that doesn't help anything. We have to communicate, we have to interact.
what would be interesting to see though, to see an average prison. This seems like the most humane prison in the world.
It's gonna be nice.
Yeah, it's nice. It would be interesting to see what is the average prison like. Not the most humane, not the worst, but the average prison, what it looks like. Norway, Germany, Lithuania, Greece, wherever, like any of the other countries, just kind of to see compared to, because comparing the best, it's not fair, because, you know, it's the best. You know, it is what it is.
Without approaching people with respect and dignity, it's impossible to sit down the next day and talk about his future, because he will not have any trust in you. So in order to, you know, work well with reintegration and future planning, etc., there has to be, you know, a foundation there of trust between the staff and the inmates.
I've visited a lot of prisons in the United States as well, and somehow I don't have the same kind of feeling of, you know, relief of getting out of an oppressive environment that I've experienced coming out of those prisons. I think that says something about how different the environment is here.
I think I have big opportunities here to prepare myself for the life after prison. I thought there is still hope. There is still opportunities, you know, to get a good life after.
I wish they said what he did.
So
would be interesting to see.
I wonder if this philosophy also is accounted for in raising children. Like, what's the mindset of like parents and how they raise their kids? Like, for punishment, is it maybe probably just time out, or not like doing things to make the child feel like they're suffering, but more to understand, okay, just remove like small little liberties, but not too excessive.
Yeah, because these prisons are nicer than most American schools. Wow.
Yeah, it looks like dorms.
I had a brother who spent a good portion of prison in the U.S. Oh no, I wanted to see if somebody like commented about these people.
Like someone from Norway?
Yeah, like,
oh, what is this? This is a lot.
Big difference, no? Yeah, because, you know, Americans watching this is a little
different.
I want to see like somebody who served
Someone
in
from
Norway.
Norway.
Yeah, even as a Norwegian, this makes so much sense. Those are going to be someone's neighbor someday. Where do you want him to have served their sentence? I mean, yeah. I mean, you're right. You're right about that.
I'm curious the crime rate.
Yeah, either like what the crime, a little bit more info, because it honestly didn't look like a prison at all. Like it looked. Norway also has the drunk driver completely in control. I lived there for over 3 years, and if anyone was caught over the limit, it was mandatory 2 weeks in jail. Everybody knows that when you go away for 2 weeks, it's not for vacation. Third offense, and you lose your license. In Oslo on New Year's night, the main highway into downtown Oslo to and from had 2 taxis, nothing else. Whoever invited to our place for supper, there was always one in the couple who was designated driver. You must also
Wow.
remember that in Norway, significantly smaller country than the U.S., also in the States, in the Reagan years, there was the 3 strikes and you're out, which caused the immense overcrowding in prison systems. Yeah, I do wonder what I read this because I thought maybe he got drunk driving, but yeah, interesting for the high security, maximum security prison to be like that. So what does minimum security prison look like?
Yeah.
Then that makes you question.
Maybe house arrest.
House arrest, yeah.
Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. And as always, share as much kindness as possible.